Joined now by Tina Griffin, the counterculture mom. Well, the propaganda arm of the left-wing progressive army cult in this country has rallied around banning Dr. Seuss, banning Peter Pan, banning Little Horton Hears a Who. You're not allowed to watch The Swiss Family Robinson is a no-go. So what are these kids going to be doing sitting in their bedrooms alone? They're going to be reading the new kids book about Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, that's about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Fauci, and I want to get rid of 95% of the population through vaccines. And while we're at it, we're going to put 1, 2, maybe 17 masks on your face to trash your immune system. By the way, I made the most cash ever last year, couple $1 million during this COVID pandemic that I actually helped orchestrate. Dr. Duke, I cannot tell you enough about Dr. Fauci. I've been following this guy personally for the last 40 years. He's behind a lot of corruption. This brand new book, Dr. Fauci, How a Boy from Brooklyn Became America's Doctor by Kate Messner, was just released. Kate, you are way off track on who Dr. Fauci really is. This is major brainwashing. The other thing I want to point out is Dr. Fauci has not seen a patient since 1968. So doctor in his name is also something that I just don't like to say together. I don't believe he is a doctor.
Well, there's so many things wrong with this. The uncritical way we're looking at Fauci here, that when Fauci makes mistakes, when Fauci engages in double talk, when Fauci turned out to be wrong, that's okay. Because, science is a process. The same stick they beat Donald Trump to death with, right? Everything Donald Trump did that the left didn't like, it was anti-science, it was unforgivable, the data is the data. Listen to the double talk from the author of this book. It's pretty shocking.
Well, for kids, one of Dr. Fauci's biggest takeaways, I think, is that science is a process, and we're always learning more and always understanding more, and we're going to make mistakes when we're trying to figure things out, and it's really important to be able to look at new information with an open mind and revise those ideas, which is something that was especially relevant during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, when Donald Trump was talking about hydrochloroquine, no go, you're going to kill people, no open mind, everyone's going to die. Now, hydrochloroquine is recognized as one of those things that does help ameliorate the virus. But no forgiveness when it was Donald Trump. But with Fauci, isn't it interesting? The one thing that she wants to tell moms and dads is not about how brilliant he is, how he saved the country, but how there's a reason why he was wrong so often, and it's called science.
I just can't believe it. And the crazy thing is he doesn't follow his own science. I mean, first he said no masks necessary. Then he said 1. Then he went back to no masks. Now he's saying 2 or 3 or 17. That's the hypocrisy that drives me crazy, where you can obviously see this guy does not know science. And he recently admitted, quote, there's no data that indicates that the mask is going to make a difference. The crazy thing is CDC also released evidence from 14 randomized control trials that said the use of non-pharmaceutical measures such as face masks did not support a substantial effect on transmission. People are still getting COVID, even while wearing a face mask, even while separating 14 feet from the other person. And the World Health Organization said in 2019 that there's no evidence that face masks are effective in reducing transmission. So it's only literally, as many medical health professionals are now saying, the best way is to not have masks on your face because it actually wreaks havoc on your immune system.
So Fauci was wrong. He doubled talk. He made mistakes. He doubled back. He doubled down on his mistakes. He's still talking in ways that the CDC and the WHO don't agree with. He made millions of dollars off of this virus, and he's got a book written about him, and he won awards from Hollywood. All that in spite of all of that death, 500,000, 600,000 dead. Trump, simply for following his own guy, he's the one who hired Fauci and implementing much of what Fauci said. Somehow Donald Trump is responsible for that 600,000. Not one of them is the responsibility of Fauci. You've created this insipid book to brainwash kids. And take a look at the book, this book blurb from the New York Post about the book. Young readers will also get a timeline, recommended reading, and a full spread of facts about vaccines and how they work, and Dr. Fauci's own tips for future scientists. Can you imagine what that's going to be like? So don't worry about right and wrong, kids. Don't worry about wearing your masks when you go to Yankee Stadium either, because when the cameras aren't rolling, nobody really wears them. Can you imagine his tips for science?
That's exactly what's so such hypocrisy about this whole thing. I've seen so many video clips over the last 2 years, I'm sure you have as well, where these people are on camera with the mask and they don't know the cameras weren't still running, and they're quickly trying to strip off their mask when they notice that. They literally are not wearing masks 24/7. It's very hypocritical. And the crazy thing is, with all of this, a lot of people lost their jobs. There's a lot of depression, suicide skyrocketing. I do not deem Fauci appropriate for giving medical advice. Obviously, there's been no history for 40 years seeing a patient.
He's being rewarded for being an architect of the way to get Americans to surrender their freedom. He is a hero to the left because he was the major player in forcing civil liberties to take a backseat to the weird aspirations of pandemic tyrants.
Absolutely. Download that Counterculture Mom app, and you will definitely know the latest trending news stories like this one, as well as all the other pop culture brainwashing tactics Hollywood has for your kids. Get that app, sign up for premium, and you'll have exactly what you need throughout the week to know what lies are being pumped out on mainstream media.